Hi all. Yeah, this is the third session that we have in Azure and cloud computing related topics. So the previous session we have introduced what's cloud computing, how it is working, what are the different types of clouds available in the market. Also, we got an introduction about Azure as well. So it's like there are different kind of providers available in the world, in the market, and we got to know that Azure is the one of the best provider available, and which is the most provider which is like spread across the region, across the world actually. So Azure has more region than any other cloud. So that's the benefit we have with Azure. And yeah, definitely we discussed about those services like IaaS, FAST, and SaaS. So yeah, we discussed the differences as well. So it's like a comprehensive package is given providing by Azure. We saw that there are 100% resources, services available in Azure. We can do a lot of things with Azure actually. So today we'll be mainly looking into the hands-on part. Hands-on part in the sense, definitely we have to understand what all things are we need to achieve. So we'll be covering that part today. And obviously, as I'm always saying, you can shoot out your queries if you have any right away interrupting my talk. So that's fine. So let's get started on today's topics. So as a recap, yeah, we have introduced this Azure portal. So this could be the UI that we are getting, and we just go through it yesterday, and we got to know that there are a lot of services available, and yeah, it's a kind of UI that we are getting, and we can search for a lot of things, and we can navigate into different services as well. So yeah, that's the basic idea about the portal. So you can access it with portal.azure.com. So if you go to the web browser and then type portal.azure.com, then you will be able to access that Azure portal actually. And you'll be able to get into this kind of webs like UI and all, and you may have a free subscription, or you need an pay as you go kind of subscription to access the services provided by Azure actually. So that we need to take care. So let me quickly jump into that part. Yes. So here today we will be discussing, like we'll be doing two things. One is creating a virtual network, and other is like provisioning a VM. So on that topic, I'm explaining. Do you know what is virtual network?
Virtual network. No, I just know what's virtual machine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. And yeah, before jumping to that, yeah, I'll be sharing you something. I'll give you an introduction what's virtual network and all, so that you guys can easily pick it up. So in Azure, actually, there is a kind of segregation. Segregation in the sense, um, you'll be hearing different kind of like terms. One is mainly subscription, Okay, subscription, then a resource group. Then virtual networks. These kind of terms you will be hearing mostly. So subscriptions are something like it's a segregation. Segregation means actually we are getting invoices as per this subscription. So let's say if we have two subscriptions, which means we will be getting two invoices. So it's like that. It is kind of separating either the environment or the functionality that is happening inside an organization. So that deciding subscriptions will be like depends on the architecture of that organization itself. For example, uh, do you remember I have mentioned there are different kind of versions, means environments in applications like development, UAT, and prod. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yes, sir. I know. UAT and development. I
Prod,
mean,
pre-prod, yeah, like that, right? So there may be a chance, like the organization can segregate subscriptions into like a dev subscription, UAT subscription, or like production subscription. They can segregate it like that, or they can segregate it like, yeah, if they have a department like it's up to them only. So maybe uh, there will be some vendors working on that organization. So for that vendors, they may give a subscription like that, or like providing different subscription to different departments as well. So that will be like completely depends upon the organization architecture. So normal practice is like if we have multiple of this kind of environment. So it is better to have this kind of environment segregation in between development, UAT, and prod actually. So yeah, there may be different environments like pre-prod or something else will be there. So that's fine. So better to have something like this. And if there are some policy complaints and all something is there with the organization, then you need to align with that actually. So basically, subscription will be the top layer, which means resource group will be come under subscription, which means if we have a subscription, okay, we can take it as a main thing. Then inside that we can have multiple resource group. Okay, so I am putting RG for resource group. Okay, so we can have multiple RGs. So resource group, we can take it as a bucket or something, or a suitcase or something like that. That we are putting similar kind of things, or that we will be putting inside that resource group. So it will be a grouping of things. That's it. So we'll be, as the name suggests, we'll be putting different kind of resources in a resource group. Okay. It is for if we can like yeah, we can match it as the folders in Windows system. Yeah, you are aware about the folders, right? We have different folders level architecture in Windows, right? So
yeah, we have different folders.
yeah, correct. So that kind of architecture we can match it with a resource because we'll be putting different resources inside a folder. Okay, but the only thing is we can't put one resource group in another one. Okay, the same goes to subscription as well. We can't put one subscription in another subscription. We can't put one resource group in another resource group. That's fine. Okay. And regarding virtual network, it's a resource actually. One of the type of resource available in Azure. Yeah, we have VM virtual machines. We have so all these kinds we can put it inside a single resource group. So either it is a VM, VNet, network security groups, IPs, lot of things we can put inside a resource group. So resource group can accommodate a lot of things, but it can't afford another resource group. Like it can accommodate another resource group. We can't create a one resource group and another resource group. So, same as subscription. And also there is some logical segregation as well, which is called a management group. Management group. It is like it is for management group is something like that's also here we said that the better approach is to segregate it in the UAT production, that kind of thing, right? So if we are see, we have pre-prod also. Let's say pre-prod means after UAT and before prod, we have another segregation or in environment which is called pre-prod. Okay, so the management group is like grouping up of these subscriptions. Okay, management group may have more than one subscription. So, for example, if we have one management group called production. Okay, this is a management group. How many subscription we have? Production, one production is there, one pre-production is there. So it will have one production subscription, another pre-prod subscription as well. So two subscription it will come under. And we can mention something like development or something like that. This is another management group, let's say. So in that we can put UAT and development. Or we can remove this development here and we can we can name it as non-production. Okay, non-production. Which means whatever the non-production we have, that comes under this management group. So in that case, we can put development here. So it will have multiple subscription as well. Or we can put development only and we can put development subscription only here. We can have a management group called UAT and we can put UAT subscription and other. So it's like it's another kind of grouping. Okay. So a management group can accommodate multiple subscriptions. Do you get me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any doubts on this?
So far, no, sir.
Cool. So at least, I just wanted to have this idea of how this are segregating. And regarding virtual network also, I'll tell you one thing. Like virtual network is something like we can call it as a boundary. Okay. So virtual network is basically separating the network between the public network, means the internet or the public network. So like they can the one who is outside this network can't access this VNet, like it can't go inside this VNet directly unless and until they have like sufficient rules for them. Okay, so we can call it as it's a boundary. So if we deploy some resources inside this VNet, they can communicate each other, no issues. Okay, they can't communicate beyond this boundary unless and until they have a sufficient rule. And as well as the same one. Okay. So if we are configuring something that denying the outbound, like outbound traffic, this is called outbound, right? Going out. So that is what outbound. And this is inbound. This come inside. If we have rules that is restricting these outbound and inbound, no other traffic, like no traffic will be going outside of, no traffic will be coming inside. So if we configure some roles for that, yeah, then we can have that. Okay.
Okay.
So and also in a VNet, we may have another kind of segregation like that is called subnet. So we can call it as subnet. Subnet is something like grouping up. We can call it. They can communicate each other, no issues, and we can associate different roles inside this also. Like we can mention some roles here. So whether if a resource is inside this subnet, like according to the role, they can go. The traffic can go inside and outside according to the role only. If they are they're in role that is denying their inbound and outbound traffic, then it will not go outside. Okay. So even if they need to communicate a resource in subnet A to subnet B, how they need to travel? They need to go across this boundary and they need to enter into this territory and then they need to talk, right? So what are things here they need? They need a rule or a sufficient thing that allow to go this allow this traffic to go outside, right? This subnet. And then here what they need? Yeah, they need some rule that allows some traffic that comes inside, right? So two rules has to be there. So this is like a deep dive only. We don't need to think about this scenario now. We'll be taking it later. For now, just understand that outside, if the traffic is needed to be go outside or inside, we need some rules, and same will go with same as a subnet. So if we need to restrict something, yeah, we can apply some rules here as well. That's it. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. No. I mean, yeah, it sounds like a networking part.
Yeah, definitely, it's a networking part. So basically, it's about, and we can match it as yeah. If we take this is for example, yeah, this is one of the department that we have in our organization. You can call it as one subnet as finance, one subnet as HR, and okay. And this is like a non-technical, right? Non-technical departments. And we may have another departments that are technical departments. We can call it as one is development, one is operations, one is Devops. Okay, so we can. These are what these are different kind of. We can call this entire department as a VNet, for example. Okay, these are VNets, and this we can call it as subnets to understand it. They get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, sir. So far, I mean,
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
understand.
great. So yeah, then we'll be getting into that presentations once again. So we'll be jumping into creating a virtual network. So first of all, I will introduce this one thing. See, yeah, this is what. Okay, please remember, try to remember the symbols. This is the symbol that this is the logo that we will be normally using for subscription. So it's a logical boundary. So we can't create a resource group with that resides in two subscription. So yeah, this is what I said. We can accommodate multiple resource group in a subscription. This is a logo for source group. Okay, so you can just identify with the help of logos instead of like giving name always. But in yeah, the logos will be sometimes like Azure will be updating. So if you are familiar with the Azure portal, then you will get easily what all things are there. So inside that resource group, I have a virtual network. As I said, this is a separation, and I have two subnets. Okay, so this virtual network having this address space, which means it can accommodate the IP addresses that comes under this address range. Okay, and I have two subnet. One is management subnet, and another is server subnet. Okay, so this is a skeleton, or we can say like a landing zone or something. So this is a skeleton that we will be having. We'll be having a resource group. We will have a virtual network inside that. In that virtual network, we will have two subnets. Okay. Do you have any doubts on this?
Yeah, sir. I mean, sir, are we going to deal with the IP addresses in the future?
Yeah, IP addresses is like, yeah, said no. IP address, it is IP address range. So like this is a CIDR block that will be supporting /24. Okay, slash that document that I will share with you so that you can have a look into that. It's a wide area, and like yeah, here we can see /29, right? And here we have /24. So I'll tell you what it is exactly. Okay, give me a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you an idea. It is something like a CIDR block. Okay. I can explain it. If I have an image or something, then that will be better. Okay, see, are you able to see this?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So, yeah, tell me.
no, I mean, I was just curious about it.
Yeah, like the CIDR notation is something like how many addresses it can accommodate. That's what it is mentioning. Okay, so currently what we see that we have /24, right? Which means it can accommodate up to 2:8 addresses. Okay, so which means it can accommodate maximum 256 addresses. So in every IP addresses, if we are mentioning some CIDR notation, then we can say that, okay, it can accommodate maximum that number of IP addresses. Okay. Why we are mentioning CIDR notation is it will give you like a starting IP addresses and the IP addresses. Okay. So it is mainly for segregating, and it is to manage network addresses easily. Otherwise, if we take some addresses for example, here we have two network, right? Two subnet, right? Management subnet and server subnet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we take, for example, randomly, if we take 5 addresses here and 5 addresses here, let's say, we don't know which all like addresses will this one will take, and which all addresses this subnet will take. We will not get an idea how it will be. So this address space, which means this virtual network can accommodate 120.122.168.10.0 to what? Up to how many address range? As I said, 2 raised to 8, which means 256 IP addresses. So these much addresses it can accommodate. This virtual network can accommodate. And if we are thinking to provide 257th IP, okay, it will show that this IP is not available. Okay, in that case, either we need to add another address space to this VNet, or we need to expand this. But expanding a virtual network will recreate the virtual. We can't directly edit it. Once it is created, we need to recreate it actually.
Okay.
And if we have, for example, if we have a resource group named RG, okay, for I named my resource group name as RG, and if I need to rename this, I need to recreate it. So make sure that you are creating with the proper naming conventions, because renaming resources will not happen in Azure and in like most of the cases. Okay. So make sure that you are aware of it. And yeah, this is what address space. So IP addresses will be comes in a family, and like accordingly it will have but a group of number of IP addresses that can accommodate. So here we will have how many IP addresses? As I said, maximum you can accommodate 256 IP addresses. Okay. In these 256 IP addresses, Azure will reserve 5 IP. Okay. Which means effectively we will get how many IP addresses? 251 IP addresses. Okay. Azure will reserve 5 IP addresses. One is for this broadcasting. Other is for actually host. Then for DNS, they will use 2 for DNS. And one more is there that I will check here. So like this, 5 IP addresses they will reserve. Okay. So if we are using 256 addresses, which means /24 CIDR block, it is called CIDR blockade. Okay. CIDR range or something that we can mention. So if we are mentioning /24, normally in physical networks, we will get 256 IP, and in Azure, 5 will be reserved so that we will get 251 IP addresses. So these 5 IP addresses will be reserved in all ranges. Okay. So if you are using any other address range also, it will be reserved. So Azure will take 5 right away. The rest of the one we can use. Do you have any doubt on this? Just ask.
No.
Okay. So as I said, we have 24, right? 24/24. Here we have /27. Let's see how many addresses it can accommodate. /27, how many it can accommodate? 2 raised to 0, which means what? 8 addresses, right?
Yeah, /27 is 8 address. Yeah.
/29, which gives 8 addresses.
8.
Correct?
Yeah. 27 is 32.
27 is 32. Yeah, currently here we are using 29, right? So 29 will support total 8 addresses, right? And do you know how much, like how many IP addresses we can use here? You have an idea?
In which, sir?
Yeah, here we will get 8 IP addresses, right?
Yeah.
So do you have an idea then how many IP addresses that can be used here?
8 means 27.
No, I'm saying /24 CADR block will give you 8 IP addresses. Okay. As same as
Yes.
/24 will give us 256.
Yes, sir.
In Azure, how many IP addresses that we can use? How many will be available?
Mm,
Do you know?
no, sir.
Okay. How many is reserved by Azure?
How many words, sir?
Yeah, how many IP addresses are reserved by
5.
Azure? 5, right? So
Yeah.
here also they will reserve their 5. Okay, Azure will reserve their 5. Then how much we will, how many we will get? Only
3.
3 addresses, right?
Yeah. 5 minus 8 minus 5 is 3.
We get that idea.
Yes, sir.
So here we have 29. So /29 will give us total 8 addresses.
8 IP address.
But in that 8
Out of which
IP addresses, Azure will
give us
reserve
5.
5. So
Yeah.
yeah, the rest of this is like 8 minus 5, which will give us 3. So we can use 3 IP addresses, which means we can deploy 3 resources here, which will use like which can have different IP addresses, right? Which can take one IP from this VNet. You get that? You
Yes,
get
sir. I got it.
this idea, right? Here also, how it will be then? How many total IP addresses will be there in
29
/29?
means like 8 IP addresses, out of which
Okay,
Azure reserve 5.
yeah,
Same thing.
same thing. We will get 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean the rest of the 3 IP addresses, like I mean we are supposed to make, right? And the 5 Azure will be reserved already, right?
yeah. 5 Azure will be like if we are creating /29, they will
Okay.
take 5 and then the remaining 3 they will give to us. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And like in that 5, I said no, broadcasting, host and yes, and a lot of things they will be taking.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So like it is like that actually. And
Okay.
and yeah. So nothing. Here see we have one right. What it is? /30. Okay. /30 will have
Yes.
2 square, which means how many IP addresses?
4 IP addresses,
4 IP addresses. Okay.
out of which Azure give us 5, right?
Okay. And see, we have /30 will give how much IP addresses? 4 IP
4
addresses.
IP addresses.
Okay. How many Azure will reserve?
5.
5. Do we have enough quantity to reserve?
No.
No. So what do you think?
Uh, I mean one we have to create, I guess.
One we have to create in the sense, like, for example, if here I am mentioning 192.168.10.0/30 subnet, it will only give us 4 IP addresses. Okay, this CADR, this address only give me 4, maximum 4. Out of these 4, Azure has to take 5.
5, yeah.
Is that possible?
No, we don't have enough.
Yeah, so we can't create a subnet with /30 CIDR block. Okay.
Okay.
In physical level, which means if we have configured it in our organization in a lab or something, this /30 will work because only one IP or two IP will be reserved and you will get at least two IPs. But here Azure will take 5, so there is no enough IP addresses, so we can't create. So if we got a question or something like what is that or which is the minimum CIDR block that an Azure virtual network can like accommodate. If you got a question like that, what will be the answer? This will be the smallest
120.
CIDR block, right? Because it will
Yes.
give you 3 IP addresses.
3 IP addresses.
Yeah, if we go then smaller, it will not, like we are not able to create. Okay, and understand that the /29 is the smallest. It is not the biggest. Okay, because it is giving higher number, which means it will give lower IPs. If we have /16, it will give you higher number of IP addresses. Okay, which means this is a higher subnet. Okay, or higher subnet or a higher address range we can do. Okay, and do you get one thing? Here we have /24, which means 256, right?
Yes.
When we comes to the subnet, what happened? CIDR block becomes smaller. Do you know what the reason?
No, I mean, because the IP address is, I mean, 20. I mean, you mean the 24, right?
Yeah, here we used 24. Here we used 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why I used this /27? Sorry, 29.
Because it has the 8 IP addresses, out of which Azure give us 5. That's why. So I mean, it's more than the reserve.
Yeah. So for example, here I have 24. If I used /23 here, it will exceed the limit, right?
Yes.
So I can't use 23 over here. So in a network, if we have a CIDR block like 24 or whatever, either we need to follow the same or a lesser one. We can't go beyond that. Okay. And here we were creating 2 networks, right? 2 subnets. In that case, we need to create what? Like here we have 256 IP addresses. And effectively we will get 251 IP addresses. So if I need to segregate, then I need to use a lesser CIDR block. Then only I will be able to create multiple networks, right? Otherwise, like if I'm creating /24, I'll be able to create only one subnet, correct? Do you get that idea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here I have multiple subnets. That's why I took a lesser CIDR block. Either if I go with /25 or /26 or /27, that could be fine. So if we have multiple subnets, make sure that you are using a smaller CIDR block than the virtual network. Okay. So these are the important things that you need to understand actually. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Right?
No.
Yeah, perfect. So this is how that network part will come. So let me. Okay. Yeah. So let's start to create a resource group, a virtual network. Yeah, we'll be creating a resource group first. Then we will create a virtual network and then these 2 subnets. Okay. So we can create virtual network, and later we can create this what this subnets, or we can create it right away while we are creating that virtual network. Either way is possible. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then. So keep in mind that /29 is the smallest CIDR range or the network range that we can enable,
We
that we can
can
deploy.
adopt, yeah.
Yeah, in a virtual network in Azure. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm introducing one website which is called VSM LSM Cal. This will help you to calculate the this thing, calculate the IP addresses, ranges, and all easily. For example, I have here this one, and here number of subnet. I need, for example, 5 subnets. Okay, 5 subnet I need. So I get 5 options. So I will give a name. So here A, B, C, D, E, F, size. Size means how many IP addresses I need to, like I need. Okay. So for example, if I need at least 3 IP addresses, okay, how many I need to put here? I need to put here 3 plus 5, because 5 is reserved by Azure, right? So
Yeah,
3
5
plus
is
5, yeah, that is like 8 I need to,
8.
yeah. And yeah, see, if I need to put 32, then I need to put 32 plus 5, which is 37. So I'll make it 2 for now. Okay. And it will, if we have submitted, see, I give a subnet name B, which needed size is 37. So which means allocated size is 62, then it will give see /26. Okay, here /28. Okay, they give.
So is it creating the IP address?
It will not create IP addresses. It will help us to find, okay, what all IP addresses
Okay,
that we can use. Yeah, it will
the
help.
slash part.
Yeah, slash part and all that they can help us.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
from which IP to which IP you can do like that. You can have an idea. That's it. Okay. This is a tool that is, yeah, you can use, but it is like it will give us only the physical kind of addresses, not an Azure supported one. Okay. So you need to think about that later. Like here they are mentioning /28. So we need at least 8 IP addresses. So which means we need to go with /28, right? Because if we need only 3 IP addresses, then we can go with /28, 29, right? That's what we did in here. /29 will give 3 addresses.
3 address, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can play around and just check it out what it is giving. Okay. So now I am going to create that virtual network. Okay, that is created. So let me try to access this portal. So it will give like this. Okay, now I am in my AD and I have this thing. See, I have Microsoft Learn Sandbox. So if I go to settings, you can say that, see that, yeah, there are different directories. So this is the one currently I am using. Yeah, there are different directories that I used earlier and all are expired actually. So currently, this is the Learn Docs. This is the one that we are using. This is Sandbox, right? Okay. So
Okay.
here, to create a virtual network, that's the main agenda, right? So to create a virtual network, either we can select, here we are able to see a virtual network, or we can search for it, virtual network. So it is giving virtual network. And here is an option, create, right? We can create from here, or we can go here and then create a resource also. It will give us a this is the marketplace. Okay, so all those things will be come under this. You can search whatever you need. So here, if you search virtual network, it also give you virtual network. So we can create virtual network. Okay, so currently we don't have this resource group. So I'll create that first. Okay, I'm creating a resource group first. So for say, like if you need to create a resource group, just search for resource group. Once you select it, yeah, here you have one default resource group available that is created by that I think it is from that land itself. So we do have a resource group. So we don't need to create a resource group now. We have one, right? So we'll not create. Even if we need to
But in
create,
general, yeah, but in general, like we have to create a resource group first
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then proceed
Yes,
with.
yes, yes. We need to. Yeah, yeah. I'll try to create a resource group there. Because of these policies, they may restrict us. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Let me try to create. Because of this limitation of this subscription, will not create. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm
So
taking.
let's say, sir, I have a question. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, let's say, like, if we are getting any task, so is resource group? Is it? Would it be the first step to create and then get into the rest of the resources? Today, like, our aim is to create the virtual network, right?
mm,
So for that, like, resource group is mandatory.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Mm.
is resource group? Is it the first step to proceed with the rest of the resources?
Yeah, because normally,
Okay.
normally we need to like if we have a client or something which have already an Azure infrastructure, and they have like resource groups and all in place, then we don't need to create. But the normal way is like if we are creating it from the scratch, first of all, we need to create a resource group because we need to put all these resources in somewhere, right? For that, actually, we are creating a resource group. So if we have a resource
Okay.
group, then we can put VNet. If we need to create a VM, that we can put. And if we are creating different resources, we can put inside, right? So either if they don't have any segregation of like development, UAT, prod and all, you can segregate it with the help of resource group also. So if you have only one resource, one subscription available, you can go for like a resource group for different subscription, like development, UAT, pre-prod, prod, like that you can take. So you can do it that also. So resource group is a basic one that we need to create. Yeah, see, you do not have permission to create groups under subscription. Okay, here we don't have that permissions actually. So this subscription will not
Okay.
allow us to create resources group. That's why we are not able to. Otherwise, like it's
Okay.
easy. Only give a name of the resource group, then which location we need to provide. If it is East US, that East US, then good. Then next, if we need to provide some tag, tag means yeah, like creator name or something, we can make like creator name. Then I can put like some ABC or something. So it will be there. It will be displayed whenever we are opening that resource. So as per the limitation of this subscription, we are not able to create a resource. So for that case, we have a resource group in place, so we'll be using that. And our task is to create a virtual network, right? So I'm going to create a virtual network, clicking create a virtual network.
Okay.
It will give me a prompt, yeah, which subscription, we can select a subscription. Currently, we have only one subscription, which is offered by Microsoft itself. So if we have multiple subscription, we can select, okay. And also same way, we can select resource groups as well. If we have multiple resource group, we can select which resource group we need to deploy that resource. Here we have only one, so we will select that. Now we need to provide a virtual network name. So this is the important one, which means I told you now, whenever we are creating a resource, we need to make sure that the naming that we did is correct. Otherwise, we need to recreate the resource. Renaming is not available. So here I am creating. Normally, the naming conventions is, first of all, we can mention the abbreviation of the resource type that we are creating. Then VNet hyphen Guruschools hyphen test. Okay, this is the virtual network that I have. This is the name.
Okay. Okay. Virtual network and then the organization name. I mean, where we are
Yeah,
creating that,
it
and
is
then
like, yeah, it is like there are different kind of net naming conventions. Some organization follow some kind of naming conventions. Okay, so you can like adopt according to the requirement of the client. But generally, you can take, yeah, you can mention the resource group, what is the resource type that you can mention in an abbreviation. And then you can mention like, yeah, what's the environment is. So for now, I just put Guruschools, and then this is a test one, and I can add 001. So this is the for first instance. If we have another instance also, I can create 002 as well. Got me? Then, yeah, I'm going with yes, US. Then I'll click next. Security, let it be. If you need any kind of encryption or passion or different kind, that then only we need to tick it. For now, we don't need that. We will come back this later if we need that. Okay. See, here we are getting that addresses. Okay. Here we will be assigning the address space of the virtual network. Okay. And what is the virtual network address we need? 192.160.10.0/24. So 192.168.10.0 and slash what we have. Yeah, see, slash 16 will support 65,536 addresses. So here slash 24 I will choose. Okay, it will support maximum 256 addresses. Then Azure will take 5, then we will have 251. Here see, we have subnet by default, they will give us a subnet. So we can edit it. See, We can mention the purpose as default name. We can mention what is the management subnet, right? Okay, so I will put management subnet. Address is 192.162.10.0/29. Starting address /20, which one we are using, /29. Okay, so starting address is 192.162.10.0, right? 192.162.10.0/29. So we selected the size /27. So it will give us 8 IP addresses, right? So yeah, only that is enough. We don't need to think about anything else. And I'm clicking save. So management subnet is created. I will add one more subnet, or we will do one thing. For now, I will create this management one, and server subnet I will add once this VNet is created. Is that fine? It is to give you an idea on how we
Yes, sir.
can create. Okay. So now I have address space and I have subnet. Then I will click next. Yeah, if I need to add a tag, yeah, created Guruschools, and then next. So it will run a validation and check if they have any issues with those details that we have supplied. Let's see. Okay, that validation is passed. That's why it is showing us. So basically, you can go to like you can recheck. Okay, this is the subscription we have. This is the resource group. This is the VNet name that we have. This is the region that we are going to deploy. This is the address space that we are using for VNet, and this is the only one subnet that we are creating now. So it seems good to go. Then you can create. Click on create. So it will start initializing deployment. So it will take some time to deploy. Okay, if you click on the, yeah, you will be able to see that the status. So what all deployments are going on, it will show here. Okay, so that deployment is completed. So it will give us an prompt and we can directly go to the resource. Or yeah, if we go to the resource, we will directly go to that VNet. Rather than that, I will do one thing. I will go to the home and then I will click virtual network. So this is the one that we created, right? So I'm able to
Yes, sir.
see this. Okay, and let's verify the details. The name is fine, and we need to check what we need to check the address space, right? Yeah, here is one option, address space. Address space C. We are using 192.168.10.0/256. Correct? That is the address space that we need here. Correct? So that's also fine.
Yes, sir.
So that's done. And yeah, there is another option called subnets. In that subnet, what we have management subnet. So here we need two subnets. For now, we have created one. So management subnet 192.168.10.0/29. So management subnet 192.168.10.29. So this is fine. Available IPs, see only 3 IPs. Right.
Okay. So that that has automatically been taken, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
management subnet.
Yeah, management subnet, we only provided name and address space, this kind of thing. Available IPs,
Okay.
it will show. Okay, if
Okay.
we deploy some resource, then it will like less. If we have deployed one resource and it is taking an IP, then it will show available IP 2 or something. You get me?
So let's say if we use all of the three IPs, then let's say if we want to have more, so do we have to pay for that?
No, because the available IPs are already consumed. Either we need to create another subnet, or we need to
Okay.
delete and recreate the same subnet with a different CIDR.
Okay. Okay.
So here we will do, yeah, we need to add one subnet, right? The server subnet we need to create. So I'm going to create that. So remember the address, 10.8. Okay. So for that, here you have an option, subnet. If you click that, then you will get an option to add subnet. So here I will add subnet, server subnet, right? Server subnet. Okay. Subnet range, I need to put 10.8/29. So here you can see that 3 plus 5, 5 Azure addresses. So we will get another 3. If we need to take higher /29, remove /28, yeah, if we put /28, it is overlapping. See, it is not a valid shared use /128 instead. The subnet addresses will be overlap. See, it is overlapping management subnet. Okay, that's why I said we need to check whether the address is overlapping or not. So if we put 28, it is overlapping. So if I put 27, yeah, it is overlapping, right?
Still overlapping.
Yeah. So we can think about like 0/27. It is overlapping the subnet. So for example, let me take 20. See, it is not contained in the virtual network itself. See, here I am able to take /27. It will give you 27 IP addresses plus 5, which is 32 addresses, right?
Okay.
So here I am creating, yeah.
Do we need to play all the time for that? I mean, or I mean, is
No,
there
no,
any particular?
no. I'm just like showing you what all things it is giving.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so /29, it will give you, so it will give you the IPS addresses. And if you have doubts on creating, yeah, you can just check it like this. That's it, created now, 28, 27, that you can check it out. Currently,
Okay.
we need 10.8, so it will not support, otherwise it will support 29. Okay, so I'll save it. It is showing adding subnet. So that subnet is also created, right? So currently we have 2 different subnets in place. Okay.
Okay.
So this is created. And the next thing is actually provisioning web server. Here actually I mentioned 2 web server, but yeah, we will create one. Okay. One virtual machine. We will create one virtual machine. Yeah, we will create one virtual machine here.
But sir, I mean, the virtual network which you have created, I mean, is it related to virtual machine, or virtual machine is a different thing?
It is a different resource. We can either
Okay,
put,
different resource.
yeah, different resource. We can either put in a subnet, in server subnet, or in management subnet, or in a different virtual network. Everything is fine. Or in a different resource group, that's also fine. Because inside a subnet, inside a subscription, we can create multiple resource group now. So
Yeah,
we
yes.
can put in like whether we need to put resource like virtual network in a resource group, we can put virtual machines in another resource group. That's also fine. Okay.
So sir, like in the practical thing, I mean, on the field, I mean, would the like higher staff like would recommend us or suggest us to like create virtual machine? I mean, is it like a task thing on the job side? Like, if they tell us to create a virtual
Yeah,
machine, then
definitely.
we'll
It
create a
will be a
virtual.
part of the task. Yeah, they will tell us, okay, please give
Oh, okay,
us a
okay,
VM. like there may be some suggestions from the side like, okay, we need these addresses, or
Okay,
it
okay,
will be open. We can select. Anyway, like we will have a virtual number, right? So we need to take one IP from there. If you
okay,
don't
okay,
have like if you need to like dedicatedly allocate one subnet, we can create one subnet and create one EVM inside that, like that. So that's up to us.
okay,
So they will tell us what's the requirement. If they have that much
okay,
granularity on that requirement, accordingly we will create. Otherwise, like we can create as per our like as what we are thinking. Okay. Now I am going to create a virtual machine. Okay. So for that, yeah, definitely I am searching for virtual machines. Virtual machine. I'm creating Azure virtual
resource.
machine. Yeah. Yeah. Here also you will get both sides. We will get. Okay. Create virtual machine. Subscription the same one. We can't change it.
Mm.
Here.
And resource group,
Yeah. Yes.
the created
Yeah.
resource group.
Yeah, here we will get an option to create new, but here the policy will not allow us to create. So I will be using the
Okay,
existing one, and I'm
okay,
naming this VM. Okay, this is VM.
same combination.
Yeah, Guru Schools test
Test.
001. Okay. Or I can, yeah, yeah, this could be. And I'm using this region, the studios itself. This is like availability option, which means how many copies or that kind of things that we need, means whether it needs to be distributed across the regions in different zones and all. So that is what it is mentioning. Not needed
Okay,
actually. If the requirement is like, yeah, we need to enable high availability, then we can enable it. Otherwise,
okay,
we don't need to think about it. Security type it is by default, you can put it as, yeah, either standard or trusted virtual machine, that's fine. So if we know, I don't know whether it will support trusted because this in this subscription. Yeah, let's see. For me, for now, I'll put standard. Okay. And I'll select a Windows server for now, which is having, yeah, this is selecting an image. Okay. So what kind of image we need, whether it is an Ubuntu or a Windows or Oracle or like Mac OS, whatever the OS we need, that we can select here from the image. And the next step, size means, okay, the configuration, how much we need. Here we have 3.5 GB RAM one. There are 2 GB, like 8 GB RAM, different like sizes are available. There are some of them are disabled because of this limitation of this what subscription. If
mm,
if we are losing some pay as you go, yeah, we can see a lot of list here also. If you can see all sizes, yeah, there are a lot of series available, right? We can go for that, but like it's not too great that because there are different. Also, you will get a cost per month, $152 per month, $183 per
okay,
month,
okay,
like
okay,
that. This series 148, like this you will get. So you can select one accordingly. So for here, I'm just using this
and sir,
$91.
where can we see the prices, sir? Prices of there?
Yeah, here it should be can
Oh, okay,
select.
oh, right, okay, yeah, it's right there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I will show that one more thing. Yeah, so this is then, and here we need to apply the username and password. Okay, username. Second, I'm putting admin Azure, and I'm putting a random password. Putting a random password, and here we can decide whether which ports we need to enable. So there are different kind of ports: 80, 443, 22, 3389. These are important. Okay. So I'll share a article on this. So just go through that on ports. Okay, and try to understand what it is. And if you have a doubt or something, you can let us know on the next session so that I can explain that. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So basically, level 389 is for remote desktop connection. We can use remote desktop and we can connect to it. Okay. So, and for 4322, yeah, there are different ports. So now we are allowing 443, sorry, 3389 to access that VM. That only we are providing. Then here is an option to check licensing. If we have a Windows license with us, we can take this and we can apply. Otherwise, like we can leave it. Next is disk. Disk, let it be by default. We don't need to look into this for now. Next is networking. Yeah, here we have one virtual network, right? So that we can select, or either we can create another virtual network as well. So we don't need to create it for now because we have already one in place. And yeah, will be, so accordingly it will list out what all subnet it have. So it is lifting to two subnets, right? So for now, I'm just putting it in the server subnet. Okay. And it will ask whether I need to provide a public IP. Public IP means we can access it using publicly. We can take it. So if we are assigning one public IP, we will be able to access it using this IP. Okay. If we are not allowing to create an IP, then we can't access using that IP. You get that?
Okay, and sorry,
Yeah.
sir. I mean, so I have a question. Like, so in the subnet, I mean, have you opted the server subnet?
Yeah, I opted it. I can use, yeah, I can use management also. No issues on it.
Sorry.
It's
So
up
I
to
was
us.
saying, sir. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your question? Yeah.
So my question was like in the subnet. Uh, have you opted the IP address? Have you opted that IP address from the virtual network which we have just created, or
No,
is
no,
it
no, 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 no,
recommended?
no, no. This is something like a random one. This is not
Oh, just a
related
random
to,
one.
yeah, this is not related to this one. So public IP is a separate resource. So if we select now, it will not create a public IP. Okay. If we select create a new one, then it will create a resource called public IP with this name, VM Google Guruschools test 001 IP. Okay, or we can create it from here. If you click create new, it will give us this, and we can create public IP Guruschools test 001. Like this also we can give. Okay, standard and Microsoft network. Let it be like this, standard and Microsoft.
Okay.
Okay, this public IP is to access that machine. And yeah, this is it. And I see already associated network group. Okay, so we don't need to select it. Then next, we don't need to look into this for now. This is also fine. It's also fine. It's also fine. Yeah, while reviewing, yeah, it is giving us the cost, right? See, $0.12 per hour. So
Yeah,
we will be able.
because like we have selected some different hard disks. I guess.
No,
Not
no,
the free one.
no, like it will take some cost anyways. Like,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah, every like most of the services are like it will incur cost, but like some resources is free, but it will incur cost. Either here we are using the subscription now, so it will. If we have credit in subscription, then we can create. That's it. So you can just verify the things, VM name, location, then what all things here, Windows 11, sorry, Windows Server 2016. VNet is this, management VNet. We are creating one public IP as well. Yeah, that's it, right? So we can create. Let me create it. So it will show a summary like what all services, what all resources are deploying, that kind of things it will give you. Public IP is done. PM is creating. Virtual machines is creating. Wait for 2-3 minutes, it will create. You'll be able to see which subscription is creating, which resource group, that are things we will be able to get. Yeah.
So, sir, I mean, as of now, like this is the trial thing, right? I mean, Azure
Yeah.
is providing us for just the trial thing. So, um, after like making, I mean, after creating virtual machines and all, I mean, do we have to like pay if we don't delete it, or I mean,
Yeah, no, this will be
or
deleted after 1 hour automatically. I think how
okay, okay,
much time
after,
we have
okay,
left? Yeah, only 27 minutes left. It will be vanished. Like
okay,
it is a sandbox actually. So it will be
okay, okay.
deactivated within 27 minutes. So
Yeah, because in the real life scenario, like if we don't delete, then we might
yeah,
have to
yeah,
pay, I guess.
definitely, definitely. Even if you are like using free trial also, like it will not delete. It will be there. It will consume your credits. So make sure that you are deleting it after testing. That's it.
Okay, okay.
See, now I have a VM, right? For example, if I click on virtual machines, yeah, that VM is created and it is running as well. So to connect to this VM, what I need to know is I need to take the public IP and I need to go to RDP. RDP in this my computer, local computer, and then click on RDP. I'll paste the public IP and then I will click on connect. So it will give you a prompt to input username and password. So I will put the username and password. Admin.
I mean, the same we created just now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the same I used, right? Same I used. I need to put the username and password that I have supplied when I am creating that VM that I am supplying
Okay.
it here. Click on OK. So it will take and it will ask for a prompt. Click yes. It is very low SKU, which means low configuration. So it may take
Yeah.
some time. Yeah, it came.
Oh, okay. So we are on the virtual machine now.
Yeah, now we are on virtual machine. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess like in the I mean in the workflow, like we will be directly sitting to the virtual machine, I guess.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean in the offices, I mean we will be directly sitting on the virtual machine, I guess. I mean without
Yeah.
creating.
Sometimes, yeah, that's completely depend upon this client and all, because yeah, some of the organization will allow us to work on RDP, which means these virtual machines. Also, there are different
Already
kind
been
of,
created.
yeah. Also, there are some solutions, different kind of solutions called virtual desktop and all. Yeah, there are different solutions they are using, and also they will be having some VPN kind of thing to connect. So
Okay.
it will be according to this like standards, policies, security things, compliances, and all that is following by the organization itself. Okay, so
Okay.
now here we are able to connect to it. So we can connect. So see, this is the IP 13.91.36.5. Yeah, we are able
Mhm.
to connect. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, we can either we can turn off it from here. We can turn off it as a normal shutdown or something, or we can manage it from here also. Here is an option: stop,
Okay.
restart.
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah, once it is stopped, we can start like that. Then okay. So here also we will get details like with which virtual network it is situated. It is in the net that virtual network we have created, and the virtual net the subnet that we have selected, right? Management subnet. So and it will give us the public IP address, and as well as it will give us private IP addresses. So public IP addresses and private is different. Private IP addresses is the IP address that this virtual machine will get from this virtual network itself. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the like address that they will take from the virtual network, and this is a resource, separate resource. Public IP address is a separate resource that we have that we are created actually. So if we delete this public IP address, it will delete and we will not be able to access from outside. We need to take it
Okay.
from inside like that.
Okay.
Okay, because it's a, yeah, if you go here, I'm going to the resource group. Let me get into it. Yeah, you can see different resources created, right? Virtual network we have created. Along with that, like while we created a VM, a disk is created, a network interface is created, a virtual machine itself is created, and also I said a public IP is created. This storage account is something else, like it is created by default. We didn't create it. Okay, it is as part of that policy of that subscription that we are using.
Okay.
Okay, so if we create a VM, basically what all things will be created: network interface and a disk.
Public IP.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
public IP. If we select public IP, then it
Okay.
will create. Otherwise, it will not create.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
we can select no there. Like while we have that public IP no, they will ask us to create a public IP, right? At that time, we can select it as no, and we can like create public IP as a resource. Like here, we can search for a public IP addresses, and click on that. And from here, we can create also same way. This is also fine. We can mention and what
Okay.
is the name, and we can just mention. That's it. Okay. So just it create. That's it. Nothing else. And once it is created, you can check. Okay, this is a public IP. Currently, it is there's an option to disassociate, right? Because it is already associated to what that virtual machine, correct? That's why this disassociate is shown. If we are creating a public IP separately, we can associate it with a VM or something. Okay, so two ways we can create a public IP. If we are creating it along with creating that VM, then we don't need to associate it separately. If we are creating it that IP as a resource separately like this, clicking like create and done, then we need to associate that IP to the resource that we are looking into. Got it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Are you connected from laptop?
No, sir. I mean, currently connecting through the phone, but from tomorrow maybe.
Yeah, okay. Because I just wanted to take you, like, tell you to take an RDP. That's what. Yeah, no issues, no issues. Okay. So for now, yeah, this is done for today. So let me finish it off. So for now, here we don't need to delete, but I'll show you how to delete. We can delete the source group itself, but it is created by them, so we can't. So we can select these resources, and there is an option to delete. It will ask, then mention apply force delete, and it will ask to type delete, delete, delete.
Okay.
Like this, we can delete the resources. Okay, and do one thing. Do the same practice. Like I'll be sharing this recording once that is available. You can check it out.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah, you can check it out because this is, and you can play it around. Okay, with different options. Okay, 1 hour you will get now. So that time, once you are trying and you are getting okay, and put some time later also after 1 hour you just try, get some break and try something else. Something else means with VM itself, try to create a VM and then try to create something inside that, or try to save some files in it. Okay, create a folder in the data and then just try to stop it and start and check whether that file is available, like that. Different steps you can check it out. Okay.
Yeah, you mean just explore.
Yeah, just explore. Whatever you have, just explore, because within this 1.5 hour or 2 hour, we can't explore much, right? So take it from this and explore from the rest of the hours you have. Okay. Okay, so it is showing deleted all. Okay, so all are deleted. Okay, this is the practice that you need to follow when you have a free trial account or a pay as you. If you are using land, then no issues, it will be vanished. Okay. So that's it for today. That's a nice session actually. Something that you guys are looking into. Yeah, hope for the best. So all the best, and we'll be like connecting the next session.
On
So yeah,
Friday.
yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for joining. And yeah, let's see you in the next call.